What do you normally think of when you hear the word theft? Maybe a purse, maybe a wallet, possibly a phone or some AirPods. Something materialistic would normally come to mind. But today we're going to be talking about something a little out of the ordinary, a little out of bounds, so to speak, where a woman, a Florida woman, got her driveway stolen underneath her nose while on vacation. Now, this story has a couple of angles that I'm going to be going over that even when you think about it, they still don't really make that much sense. It seems kind of like a scam situation that's possibly gone awry because you just don't know what the end goal would be. It doesn't even really seem like monetary buckaroos, schmackaroos is even really what this person is after. Now, to start this off, this woman, she lives in Florida, and her son noticed a few workers outside measuring her driveway. So she looked outside. Who are you? What are you doing? Why are you touching my driveway? So she goes out. She talks to the workers, and they explain, hey, we'd like to give you an estimate on a new driveway. And from my understanding, she declined, and she said, no, I'm good. Now, to put this into a little bit of context, this lady is trying to buy a new home. She is trying to get out of this home. Therefore, she's putting this house on the market and is gonna try to move. Now, as you can imagine, coming home from a trip and having your driveway stolen, you could see how that might be a little bit of a hindrance in the selling process of selling a house. Now, the guy that we're going to be focusing on today, the guy that seems to be the center of this whole scam or whatever you want to call it, his name's Andre. Now, he is the one that contacted the construction company, and from my understanding, he gave them an incorrect address. Now, this clearly had to be purposeful because Andre contacted the construction company right when this woman placed her house on the market. So it's too it's not really it's too coincidental to be a coincidence. So it's it wouldn't make sense for this to be a coincidence. So we're gonna go through some of the chat logs. What exactly did Andre say to the to the construction guy to have him go out and just steal her driveway? So the text logs start off with, I want a new concrete driveway at my house in Apopka, Florida. Can you stop by sometime today or tomorrow for an estimate? Let me know. Thanks, Andre. Then he says, sure can. How about 11:30 today? Then he says 1438 Bethesda Street, Apopka, Florida 32703. Yes, 11:30 works, and what's your name, please? Louise with Dr. Phillips. Now this, so far, nothing seems to be gone awry. Nothing seems to be stinking. Nothing is, afoot. Everything seems to be where it's supposed to be. He's, regular conversation. Hey, I want a new driveway. And it seems like a normal conversation, a normal text chat. And to continue the conversation, Andre then says, I left town yesterday to go be with my sick dad in Georgia, and I want the job to proceed before I'm back in town so I can meet you there to pay the balance. Also, I'm going with slate pavers. So text me the address to mail the check to this afternoon. First off, boo-hoo, your dad is sick in Georgia. We've heard this a million times before, where the scammer is not in the area. They can't meet you for the check. They can't see you person to person. It needs to be by mail. We've seen this fuckery a million times before. So he does say that he can meet you there to pay the balance, but then he switches it up and says, so text me the address to mail the check to this afternoon. So he's saying he's gonna mail the check. So if I were to guess, it would be a fake check, because normally they'll send a check, you'll deposit the check, it'll be a fake check, you'll see the money in your bank account, but it's not real money, and once your bank figures out that it's not real money, they take the money out of your account, and then once you've spent the money, boom, overdrafted, you're going to be negative, you're totally fucked. And that's normally how these things end up going down. Then he says, sorry to hear that. I hope he gets better soon, but on that case, I will need full payment before starting the job, as well as proof of ownership. And then Andre says, okay, don't worry, I'll find someone else. Thank you. And then the construction guy says, fine. Now, they've gone separate ways. They're no longer going to be working together, and of course, before starting work on somebody's house, you got to know who the person is. That's like somebody dropping off a car to a mechanic and then having like a note in the seat saying, "Hey, I need my alternator replaced. We'll send check in mail." And then they just like do it anyways, like without actual proof of payment or, proof of who the person is. It doesn't really make any sense that the driveway would be stolen anyways, because they already separated ways. So why the reasoning behind the construction workers still going to the house to take the driveway just doesn't really add up. Like, the only possible solution for that in my head is that Andre contacted another construction company that didn't require him to prove who he was or meet him at the house or whatever, and they just bought into his idea of, "Oh, I'll send you this check and we'll do the work." What I think what happened was, they took it. They realized, hey, this guy is like fake or whatever, after I guess figuring out that this woman actually lives at the property, and Andre is not the real owner of the property. But at this point, it's too late. It's too far gone. It's in the bucket. Okay. Now let's talk about what the end goal of this could be. What could be possibly be the reason why this guy wants this driveway to be taken apart and gone. The first reasoning could be that he wants the property value to be lowered. He could be a potential buyer of the home, and he doesn't want to shill out the buckaroos required to buy the property. So what he does is he tries to get a construction company to go out there to take away the driveway, therefore lowering the property value. The owner now can't sell the house for as much as they wanted to because it no longer has a functioning driveway anymore. It's just dirt. It's just earth. And so then Andre buys the house for a significantly lower price, probably way more than what the driveway actually costs. So she'd probably have to lower the price of the house by like $50,000. And when Andre buys the house, he can just put a new driveway in for $8,000 or $10,000. So he saves a shit ton of money, doing it that way. That is a big, he could possibly be one of these people that buys houses and fixes them and then flips them. That's like an easy $40K. So the only other possible reason I could think of for this happening is, which probably isn't actually the case, it's just something that popped into my head. I guess it wouldn't be too far-fetched, but I don't know, probably isn't the case. But it could be that this woman is working with Andre and the construction company to have this whole thing blow up, and boom, she has way more people seeing the house, she has way more people bidding on the house, there's way more attention towards it, and she could potentially get a much higher price, or she could sell the house for a lot more money. Now, I don't think that that's actually the case. It's just it's just something that popped in my head that could maybe be the reasoning for it. But I would say that the first reason is definitely the strongest, the one that has the most evidence backing it. Now, of course, this blew up in Andre's face though, because this has so much attention. He would most likely, she probably wouldn't sell the house to him. She would not allow him to buy the house even if he tried. So yeah, guys, just a crazy, Krampus clearly was late to this woman this year. And now it does have a little bit of a bittersweet, or it has a sweet ending to it, kind of. They set up a GoFundMe, of course, to help this lady rebuild her driveway because, she's in a really precarious situation now that she has no driveway, still trying to sell the house, trying to move, and it's put her family in a bad position. So from what I heard, she's gonna be getting the money, she's gonna be getting the driveway fixed, and hopefully at no cost to her, which I'm sure is what's gonna happen now that this story's blown up. I'm sure a million people are donating to it. But yeah, guys, just a wacky and wild story that really, it doesn't have a definitive ending quite yet. Now, if it does, I'll probably make another video on it because I'd be interested in like what the end goal was. But I do have a feeling that this really got the whole kibosh got put on this thing because it got so much, attention. It's just I can't see Andre making a comeback at this point. So yeah, guys, that's that's the story. It's a wild one. If you want to check it out, all you got to look up is woman gets driveway stolen. But yeah, guys, crazy story. That's all I got, man. See ya.